In a world where science fiction increasingly bleeds into reality, Israel's latest military innovation sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. Picture this: a beam of intense light, invisible to the naked eye, streaking across the sky at the speed of light. In an instant, it makes contact with an incoming rocket, drone, or mortar round. The target doesn't explode. It simply melts away, vaporized by the sheer power of concentrated energy. This isn't the opening scene of the next Star Wars movie. It's the Iron Beam, Israel's newest addition to its formidable air defense arsenal. And if its creators are to be believed, it could revolutionize the way wars are fought. We actually can focus the beam to the diameter of a coin in a 10-kilometer range, boasts Ran Ghazali, Executive Vice President of Rafael Advanced Defense Systems Land and Naval Division. It's a claim that would make any science fiction writer proud, but for Ghazali and his team, it's the culmination of 2 decades of painstaking research and development. But as with any groundbreaking technology, the question remains, is the Iron Beam truly the game changer it's purported to be, or are we witnessing the military-industrial complex's latest expensive foray into high-tech warfare? How much does it cost to shoot down a $1 million missile? About $3. In the high-stakes world of modern warfare, where a single missile can cost as much as a luxury mansion, the economics of defense can be mind-boggling. Enter the Iron Beam, a system that promises to flip this equation on its head. Traditional air defense systems rely on interceptor missiles, each costing anywhere from $100,000 to $3 million. In contrast, the Iron Beam's cost per shot is reported to be around $3, less than the price of a fancy coffee. It's a difference that could revolutionize military budgets and tactics alike. A cost per shot of a locust laser weapon is really $3, explains an industry insider, referring to a similar American system. The abilities you have essentially are an infinite magazine at a very, very low cost of engagement at very, very effective ranges across a wide swath of threats. But before we declare the era of kinetic warfare over, it's worth noting that the initial investment in these laser systems is substantial. The Iron Beam project is slated to receive $1.2 billion in funding from the U.S. government, a figure that raises eyebrows and questions in equal measure. Is this astronomical sum justified by the potential savings and tactical advantages, or are we witnessing the birth of a new, even more expensive arms race? Can weather really defeat a $1.2 billion weapon? As impressive as the Iron Beam sounds on paper, it faces a formidable and unpredictable foe, Mother Nature herself. While traditional weapons might rust or jam, laser weapons face a unique set of challenges that could render them useless at the most critical moments. Rain, fog, dust storms, these everyday weather phenomena become potential Achilles heels for a weapon that relies on a clear path for its beam. Each water droplet or sand particle becomes a tiny prism, scattering the laser and reducing its effectiveness. Photons in the beam will bounce off of particles in the air, like rain, sand from storms, or fog, dispersing the beam and making it less powerful, explains a physics expert familiar with the technology. It's a sobering reminder that even the most advanced technology can be thwarted by the simplest of natural occurrences. This vulnerability raises critical questions about the Iron Beam's practical application in real-world combat scenarios. In the arid regions where Israel often finds itself in conflict, sandstorms are a common occurrence. Could a weapon designed to protect against rockets and drones be rendered impotent by a gust of wind carrying desert sand? The developers at Rafael insist they're working on solutions, but the challenge remains a significant hurdle in the path to widespread adoption of laser-based defense systems. Is the U.S. Army playing catch-up in the laser arms race? While Israel forges ahead with the Iron Beam, the United States isn't sitting idly by. The U.S. Army has its own high-energy laser program in the works, dubbed the Indirect Fire Protection Capability High Energy Laser, HEL. But recent developments suggest that American military brass are casting envious glances towards their Israeli allies' progress. Doug Bush, the U.S. Army's Assistant Secretary for Acquisition, Logistics, and Technology, recently expressed interest in the Iron Beam technology. I think yes, there's potential if theirs works well. It could be something we could think about leveraging for our needs in that space, Bush told reporters at the Pentagon. This statement raises intriguing questions about the state of American laser weapon development. Is the U.S. falling behind in this crucial area of military technology? Or is the interest in Iron Beam a strategic move to diversify America's defensive capabilities? The plot thickens when we consider that Lockheed Martin, a major U.S. defense contractor, has already signed an agreement with Rafael to jointly develop a high-energy laser system based on Iron Beam for use in the United States. This collaboration blurs the lines between allies and competitors in the high-stakes world of military technology. As the laser arms race heats up, one can't help but wonder, are we witnessing the beginning of a new era in warfare, or just the latest chapter in the ongoing saga of military one-upmanship? Will laser weapons make traditional missiles obsolete? The advent of laser weapons like the Iron Beam poses an existential threat to traditional missile defense systems. With their near-instantaneous speed, pinpoint accuracy, and virtually unlimited ammunition, lasers seem poised to render conventional interceptor missiles obsolete. But not so fast, say some military experts. While lasers offer undeniable advantages in certain scenarios, they also have limitations that traditional systems don't face. Range is a key factor. While a Patriot missile can engage targets over 100 miles away, the Iron Beam's effective range is currently limited to about 3 miles. Moreover, the power requirements and sensitivity to weather conditions of laser systems mean that they're unlikely to completely replace missile-based defenses anytime soon. Instead, the future of air defense likely lies in a hybrid approach. The Iron Beam is intended to work in tandem with Israel's Iron Dome air defense system, also made by Rafael, as another layer in our air defense strategy and deployment, explains Rand Ghazali. This layered approach could provide a best-of-both-worlds solution, combining the speed and cost-effectiveness of lasers with the range and all-weather capability of traditional missiles. But as laser technology continues to advance, the balance may shift. Will we see a day when the skies are defended not by explosions and smoke trails, but by invisible beams of light? Only time will tell. Can video games save lives on the battlefield? In a twist that seems almost too bizarre to be true, the future of warfare might owe a debt to the world of video games. The control interface for the Iron Beam and similar systems like the American Locust laser weapon system is designed to mimic popular first-person shooter games. The laser software is designed to look like a video game, like Call of Duty, and it's operated with an Xbox controller, reveals an insider familiar with the technology. It's a design choice that's as practical as it is surprising. The logic behind this gaming-inspired interface is simple. Many of today's soldiers have grown up playing video games. By leveraging their familiarity with these systems, the military can reduce training time and improve operator effectiveness. When we can align how we actually operate the system with those natural skill sets, it's very powerful, explains a military training expert. But it's also just elegantly designed from a user interface and implementation standpoint. This convergence of military technology and gaming culture raises fascinating questions about the future of warfare. Are we witnessing the gamification of combat? And if so, what are the ethical implications of making the act of destroying enemy targets feel like playing a video game? As laser weapons like the Iron Beam move closer to widespread deployment, these questions will likely become increasingly relevant and controversial. A new dawn or just another arms race? As we stand on the brink of what could be a revolution in military technology, the Iron Beam and its ilk represent both promise and peril. The potential to neutralize threats at the speed of light, at a fraction of the cost of traditional systems, is undeniably attractive to military planners. Yet, as with any leap forward in military capability, the Iron Beam raises as many questions as it answers. Will it truly provide the impenetrable shield its creators promise? Or will its limitations, range, weather sensitivity, and the enormous initial investment required prove to be its undoing? Moreover, as nations race to develop and deploy these futuristic weapons, are we opening a new chapter in the global arms race? The involvement of major powers like the United States in Israel's laser weapon program suggests that the answer might be yes. One thing is certain. The iron beam and similar directed energy weapons are poised to change the face of modern warfare. Whether that change will lead to greater security or simply escalate the cycle of technological one-upmanship remains to be seen. As we watch this technology move from science fiction to battlefield reality, one can't help but wonder, in the quest for the perfect defense, are we creating a more dangerous world? Subscribe for more.